So we talked about morality. What is morality? It's right behavior, principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong behavior. Logically, you have to ask the question, okay, what is a right? If the definition of morality is right behavior, the difference between right and wrong, what is a right? So a right simply is an action that does not cause harm to another sentient being. As human beings, and this also applies for the animals as well because they are autonomous, they're their own individual being roaming, separate from the actual earth, roaming the planet. Human beings, we each are having our individual experience. Okay, I incarnated into this body. I am responsible for this body. I am accountable for this body. No one else is jumping into my body. We're not jumping in and out of bodies, using them like clothes. I mean, some people are thinking that, when it comes to genders and ideologies. But it's not in truth. This is not what's happening. Okay? So because we exist in this reality, we are going to interact. We are going to interact with other beings. It's going to happen. It's a fact. Now, what is the nature? What is the condition of that interaction? This is where morality comes into play. And I'm going to talk about ethics later on as well. But morality is pointing to two or more people or another being besides yourself. Right? This is what it's implying. Now, ethics, again, I'll get to that later on. But a right is any action that does not cause harm to another sentient being. Now, here's a question that always comes up that people always talk about. Well, who dictates harm? Now think about this. You exist in this reality. There is no handbook. See, this is where the fundamentalist religionists want to come in. They step in and they hold the Bible and other religious doctrines up on a pedestal. Like the creator of the universe really came down here and wrote a fucking book. No, there's no handbook that states how to operate and the spiritual principles by which we need to operate. It's a living Bible. It's a living constitution, and that's called nature because nature is creation. Nature is truth. And we can use our faculties to observe nature and understand nature, and this will give us insight on how to act. So, the deciding factor of harm, we're going to get down to the foundations of what the wrongdoings are. Human beings have the capacity to feel and to understand and have common sense on what harm is. For instance, okay, if you were driving and you hit someone on accident and killed them, you would feel like shit. Even though it was an accident, you would feel like shit. You can feel the harm that was caused. You can feel when you have done someone wrong. This is heart-based intelligence. Now, again, this is hard for a lot of people because apathy is so prevalent, right? So there's a lot of secondary psychopaths that have numbed themselves on many levels where they're not feeling these emotions. But regardless, we can talk about an unlimited amount of right behaviors or right actions. We are going to use an occulted method. It's called, oops, that's not what it is. This is what it is. It is called the apophatic method. Actually, I will go back to that. Sorry, I jumped ahead of myself. So we look at right and wrong. Now, we use the word right for a few other things. We say, yes, I am right on a certain statement. That's because it means correct. And correct is based in truth. It also means moral because it is in harmony with the laws of nature. And actions based in it do not result in harm to other sentient beings. Now, we use wrong as a wrong behavior or action because it did result in harm to another being or person, right? We also use wrong as incorrect. No, you are wrong, because it is not based in truth. It's also immoral because it is in opposition to nature, to the laws of nature. So this is the ways that we use this word and how they mesh together, right? A right is based in truth. It is correct. It is moral. This has a certain vibratory energy. Freedom goes into that category as well, which I will discuss later on. Wrongdoings has a certain vibratory energy, and slavery and control and duress go into that category because it is wrong, it is incorrect, it is immoral. So again, we'll dive into that later on.